All right, not just have and have not fans, but basically just all listeners in general. This is one of those videos where you don't have to look at the screen, just to let you know. I'm just going to be talking real quick. I did see a few messages uh, on my latest video about, John Snyder asking fans for help after the property seizure of John Snyder Studios in Louisiana, and due to a lack of paying for the mortgage. Things aren't looking good for John. I believe the 14th, basically about a week from now, yeah, next Monday, that's when the money needs to be gathered together. I don't believe I know the exact amount, but I plugged in the 8 or 7 or 9 minute video of John Snyder explaining the situation. I posted that at the end of my other video about John Snyder. So if you want to see the full video, you can go there and check it out. But I was reading, and again, this is the internet, so people will just say whatever. I was reading comments on the video itself. I was reading a few articles about the situation. I received a few messages myself, just people wondering, what's going on in terms of why this is happening. But let me just say a couple things up front. For one, in the video, John Snyder's like, hey, I'm not one of those people to say, yeah, hey, I got a GoFundMe page and whatnot. He's a guy that's pretty much saying, hey, if you want to support me, simply go to the website, music, movies, t-shirts, hats, whatever the case may be. Go buy that. That's the best way to support me because number one, he's trying to get rid of the product that he created, in terms of the music, basically the John Snyder merchandise. That's one of the bad things, if his place does get foreclosed on, he's not able to go back on the property. So all of the product that, I guess for a lack of a better phrase, that he's gone into debt creating is going to be out of his grasp. It's just like, if I just want to use an example here, like Prince has his vault with, all of the music and whatnot. Imagine if he were still alive and for whatever reason, Paisley Park got foreclosed on. He couldn't come up with the money. All that music, the masters, the tapes, everything in Paisley Park, he wouldn't be able to touch it. That's like how bad the situation is in a way. And I was reading some comments. People on the internet would just speak their mind, and a few or a good number of comments were saying around the same thing in regards to man, what's up with these stars? When they make all this money, they go in debt. They weren't spending it right and whatnot. What kind of person, is once on top of the world, now broke and stuff like that. I can understand where people are coming at when they say that, especially people, these celebrities who live the life of luxury, just buying all these cars and, gold teeth and, or grills. Do they call them grills? Now, see, now I sound old and I'm in that age group, but that's just never. I mean, if I were, making money, I would get straight teeth. I would literally like get implants or something just to replace my teeth. That would be what I would do. But yeah, big houses and whatnot. Now, I don't really know John Snyder in person. I never met the man. It would be cool to like trust and believe. Same thing with the cast of the haves and the have-nots. But what I've seen, in terms of the interviews and whatnot, I just see an honest man just trying to make his way. But a man with a dream, as he said in his video. But some people were saying, all that product and whatnot, but he hasn't sold it yet. So maybe he should have, try to promote his music more before the whole Dancing with the Stars thing. I can see how people make these points. I'm not here to judge. That's not what I'm here to do. Like when I did that video, based off the title, John Snyder asked fans for help after property seizure. That wasn't meant to, slander him because he was legitimately reporting to the fans what was going on, and the best way to help them is to just simply buy the product. So by that title alone, and no, nobody's actually said, Jeremy, how can you put, because some people are like, with your clickbait titles, nobody has come to me and said, that was a negative way to title a video about John needing help. No, nobody said that, thankfully, because when I was thinking of how to title the video, I thought, what would be the best way to represent this in regards of not John Snyder asking for a handout, which is not what he's doing whatsoever. So luckily that video's received a lot of likes. I think it's only received one dislike so far. I don't really know who that came from because that's not how YouTube works, at least not to my knowledge. But I remember way back when he had to go to jail for the whole not paying alimony to his alimony to his ex-wife. People were like, "How come Tyler Perry doesn't help him out and whatnot?" I can see why people might think that. It's like Tyler Perry's like freaking what, millionaire, billionaire, whatever. But based off everything that we've seen and heard from John Snyder in interviews or in articles, I think I even mentioned this way back in the video where he was literally going to jail. He was doing a live stream as he was going to jail. Tyler Perry called him that morning, to I think he prayed for him and just to tell him, to have faith and whatnot. But I think in that video I said, based off everything we've seen of John Snyder so far, I don't think he's the kind of man to take a handout. Like, again, I don't know these conversations because I wasn't there. I'm just making somewhat of an assumption. It wouldn't surprise me if Tyler Perry possibly offered John Snyder financial assistance, but then John turned it down. I could possibly see that being a scenario. That's just my opinion on it. I don't know if that's the case. Again, I'm just saying I could possibly see that conversation happening. Other people might be like, yeah, well, I heard the stars don't get paid much for the haves and have-nots. Again, I have no idea. I do not know. And then another scenario is like, well, Jeremy, if John doesn't take a handout, why doesn't he ask Tyler Perry if it's like, hey, if you pay this stuff off for me, then I'll agree to be in like a number of movies and stuff like that. I don't know. Again, I don't know. But another consistent number of comments I've seen is just like, Jeremy, I want to help in all this stuff, but it's just like, for a celebrity and stuff like that, it's hard for me to do so because as a person struggling, how am I going to take my hard-earned money to buy something to help them out? And let's say, for example, the mortgage is paid and everything is good to go. Remember, he still owes his wife all that back alimony. And how do we know a similar situation will happen again where he will lose his property? Sometimes when you have the ability to help someone, you just do it regardless of what the outcome may be. That's all I have to say to that. And once again, I can definitely understand that because he was on Dancing with the Stars. He made it pretty far, made, some money off that. But, I don't know where it went. So, again, this video is not to slander not just John Snyder, but any celebrity that happens to be in a financial funk. That's not what I'm doing whatsoever. I'm pretty much addressing a common number of comments that either I've seen on my own post about the situation, on comments on John's videos, or even the articles, the different news outlets that have reported on the story and posted the video and then comments on there. So keep in mind that I'm not just pulling these subjects from John Snyder's post himself, but actually going to different, media outlets just to see what was going down. So I did see, I think in my original video, I said that, dang, I only saw like the cheapest things around maybe $20 or so. Like I'll try to buy one album or something, but apparently you can actually rent movies for like $2.99. So yeah, if that's the case, I'll definitely be able to rent a couple of those. And I think he makes money off Spotify of his music. So, hey, if you can pull up your Spotify and put a few songs on repeat, I'm pretty sure that will get a, few bucks gathered on Spotify. But then again, I don't know how Spotify works in terms of payment. So I don't know if it will reach him in time for the 14th. But in any case, if you can help, that's great. Like I said before, even if you can't help, if you saw my last video where I posted links to all of John Snyder's social media as well as the store, be sure to share those links around, share the video around, because even if you can't financially support, just share it, just spreading the word around is enough, because more people will see. It's like a ripple effect. So with that being said, definitely thoughts and prayers to John Snyder. I hope everything does work out by the 14th. Hope it does. I mean, remember the day he went to jail, he was out in only a few hours, right in time for the haves and the have-nots to air. So hopefully everything is good to go before the 14th, because remember the haves and the have-nots has its second episode of the year on the 15th. So I definitely hope that 2019 turns around for John Snyder, that everything goes well financially, that he's able to sell a lot of stuff in order to, pay off the debt. And yeah, that's really all I have to say on that. But with that being said, just to make a small plug for my stuff, keep in mind that we are about to hit 60,000 subscribers. I think we are less than 200 away from 59. So hopefully before the 14th, ironically enough, we'll be touching 60,000 subscribers, and then we'll need 40,000 to go until we hit 100. So thanks so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on this subject, and I'll talk to you soon. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, as well as leaving your thoughts in the comment section below so we can keep the conversation going. On the left hand side of the screen, you should see a picture of Jeffrey Harrington. You can click on him in order to subscribe, but also hit the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content. Also, you should see some videos appearing on the screen as well that I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy if you enjoyed the one you just saw. But also, be sure to follow me on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links to all my social media will be in the description below. And in order to help this channel hit 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to need your help. So make sure to share this video as well as the channel around with all of your friends on your own social media. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next video.